What I understood you to ask, and may Allah reward you, Shaykh, inshallah, is that how is it with the picture of the Muslims? They are weak, they are fragmented, they are not progressive, they have very dark picture, they're seeming like they are not developing. But in the West, they are very energetic and they are developing. They seem to have all the institutions and all the resources. So why would someone become a Muslim who's in the West when he looks at the picture of the Muslims in their countries? I think this is what you asked me. Is this correct?
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. Sheikh, is in the very simple way, why do we need salt on our food? Why do we want sugar in our coffee? Why do we like to hear some kind of maybe rhythm, poetry? Why, you understand me, that we like the fragrance of a flower? Why we like the taste of the apple? Why? Because it gives something to the senses. It brings life to the food. It gives feeling to the heart and to the spirit. And today, Muslims, they lost the spirit of Islam. Muslims is just like rock and stone and wood. There's something from the past. They have the language, mashallah. They still have the culture, mashallah. They on the outside you can still see the remnants of Islam, but on the inside the Muslims do not have the creativity. The Muslims, they lost the energy. The Muslims lost the clear thinking. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His sunan, and the sunan of Allah never change. When the Muslims reach that stage, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He opened the door of Islam for another people who have the spirit, feeling, when they smell Islam, when they taste Islam from the sources, when they see the dynamism of the Sunnah, when they see the power of the Quran, it gives them the fragrance. And even though they see the condition of the Muslims, because of what they're feeling, they bypass and they become Muslims. And after sometimes 20 years, 30 years, they become the leaders of Islam. They will not become the custodians of the Haramain. No, Allah, He give the custody of the Haramain to the Saudi people or to the Arabs there in the Jazirat al-Arab. Nobody will get that because Allah, He give that to them. They're not going to become the ones who are the keepers of the language. No, Allah, He give the keepers of the language to the Arabs. He give that to them. So Allah, He gave to the Arabs something, and nobody can take it from them. Zamzam belonged to the people of Mecca. You know, when our mother Hajara, when she discovered the Zamzam in the story, when she discovered the Zamzam, and she was sitting with her son, they was drinking from the Zamzam. Then some Arab tribemen, they came and they said, "Oh lady, can we get some of that water?" She said to them, "Yeah, it's mine. You will have to pay me because this belonged to her." See how she answered. Even though they are men and they can just take it. But because she answered in such a dignified way, they just said thank you, they paid her. Why? Since that time, Zamzam belonged to who? The Arabs. The Kaaba is under their custody. The Haramain under their dominion. Because Allah, He want to protect the Haramain. Allah, He want, the Hujjaj to drink from the Zamzam. So Allah, He give that to them. Secondly, Allah, He want to protect the Quran. So He give the Quran to a people who have the language to protect it. But the spirit of Islam is not like the Kaaba. The spirit of Islam is not like the Zamzam. The spirit of Islam is not like Haramain. The spirit of Islam is flowing from one generation to another. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala yahdi man yasha' wa yudhillu man yasha'. And Allah, He give His barakah to whomever He please. And Allah, He promised in the Quran that if some people who's holding the Quran and having the knowledge, if they do not perform the da'wah, if they do not perform the work, Allah will change them and replace them with another people.
إذا نحن نحتاج الفكرة الأساسية التي أسمعها من أكثر الذين أسلموا. لماذا أسلمت؟ قال أنا فصلت بين واقع المسلمين، حال المسلمين، وبين الإسلام، الكتاب، السنة، سيرة محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم.
Just the sources.
أنتم قرأتم الكتاب، السنة، السيرة، فصلتم، ليس المسلمين إسلام.
Sahih. Because Islam is different from Muslim. The Islam is the source. Muslim is only a result. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's not concerned about those who drank from the river. Allah, He keep the river pure. If those people who took from Islam early, they leave it in their behavior, Allah, He calls some other people to drink from the Quran, some other people to drink from the Sunnah, and then Allah, He lift them up. After the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam left, 5 generations after that, Allah, He gives Islam to the non-Arab. So, Imam Bukhari, Imam Muslim, not Arab.
Yes.
So Allah, He gives to a people based upon their sincerity. And what I understand about Islam in my small knowledge and as I'm experiencing is that what Allah, He gave one people is theirs, but not the spirit. The spirit of Islam keep flowing and it goes from one people to another. And we can see, subhanallah, see Muhammad Qasim, he was only 17 years old when he conquered India. 17. Like who? Like the son of Usama bin Zayd. See, Allah, He don't give to the older one. He don't give to Khalid ibn Walid. Khalid ibn Walid, he have what he have. But the one that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He put as the Amir of the Jaysh, Usama bin, because Allah, He want the young people. The young people have the energy. And if they have the knowledge and they have the energy, wallahi, they will take Islam. Sheikh, I read that book. And he said that if the Muslims must change their strategy of da'wah according to the dynamics of the civilization in which they are living. If Muslims is giving da'wah based upon the dynamics of another society, it will not work in this society. So this is what I'm telling the young people. We have to use contemporary language. And we have to use a language which the people of this society will understand. We have to use contemporary situations. We have to use relevant language. We cannot use the language of the people in a dormant society. If somebody said to me, Sheikh, who is your teacher? I can tell them my main teacher, his name is Sheikh Khalid al-Halwani in Mecca. Okay. But to a European, what does this mean? So I tell them, me, I have many teachers and I have many sources of knowledge. I'm reading from Bloomberg magazine, Fortune magazine, Harvard Law Review, Wall Street Journal, Times Weekly, okay, all the economists, these magazines. So the contemporary information which I'm getting is from these sources. Where those sources from? The major sources of the Western media and the Western universities. Now they're going to respect what I have to say. Of course, me, I'm taking from the sources, Quran and Sunnah, from the Ummahat al-Kutub. But I have to deliver it to people, not in that language, not in that way. I have to deliver it to them in a way from sources which is familiar to them. So, Sheikh, in my estimation, the young people, the Muslims today who's living in the West especially, 3 things they need if they want to move forward. We don't say for their iman. For their iman, they need Quran and Sunnah, good aqidah, good teachers, all of this here. They need to perform the Arkan al-Islam, Arkan al-Iman, all of this here. But if they want to be effective, if they want to be respected, if they want to be progressive, 3 things they have to do. One, they must develop a life plan. Not education. Education, not life plan. Education is institutional programming to prepare you for participation in a society. This is education. And they should have education. But life plan is something different. It is that you write, you research. And after you research, you write and you think, you put your plan. Where you want to be in 5 years, where you want to be in 10 years, and how you will achieve that. This is life plan. Now, Sheikh, it is already proven that someone who has a life plan and education And someone that has education, the one that has life plan, will wind up in leadership because they have vision. The second thing they need to do, they need to do what's called career enhancement. Career enhancement. That means maybe you are a doctor, you're a lawyer, you're an engineer, maybe you are a software engineer, maybe you are a carpenter, maybe you are a builder, you are a teacher, or whatever you are. That's good. But you need to study other things to enhance your career. You need to take other courses that will enhance your career. You need to take courses in business, okay, in language, in speaking, in writing, in development, to study sociology and to study history. So when you take these enhancement courses, maybe an enhancement course will be 3 months or 6 months. So in a 5-year period of time, if you take 5 enhancement courses and someone else studied the same discipline as you, you'll find yourself in front. Number 3, they need to understand what are the dynamics of required for leadership. Leadership training. Because how are they going to adopt responsibility if they're not leaders? You know, the Prophet ﷺ, he predicted that Usama bin Zayd will be the leader of the Jaysh. Why? Because Usama was always with the Prophet ﷺ, and the Prophet ﷺ was providing him with leadership. Secondly, who was the father of Usama? The father of Usama was Zayd. And he was also disciplined man, devoted man. So, Sheikh, if our children are not being trained for leadership, then they're being trained for following. A leader is not, you don't get leaders from education. You get leaders from cultivation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the Prophet, he said, yuzakkihim wa yurabbihim. Not just purify their hearts, not just teach them the knowledge, wa yurabbihim.
Not just ma'lumat.
No, in akhlaq, in their behavior, ad-din al-mu'amala, and ad-din is makhluq. You see, so I believe, Sheikh, that if a person is well educated, has a life plan, a person also does career enhancement, he has good knowledge of the world and the society. Secondly, he's trained as a leader and he has good behavior. He has good behavior and he is disciplined in his Islam. He will become a leader and even non-Muslims will not mind. Sheikh, I think today, because success today in the minds of people is outward success. The people, they don't understand inner success. This is why they lose their family, they lose their identity, they lose their morals, they lose everything just to gamble, to drink, and to dance, and so and so, because they have no value inside. So if you want to convince the people of the West, don't deal with the inside issues. They will come to that later. We must compete with them in science. We must compete with them in education. We must compete with them in business. We must compete with them in family, in society. We must produce things, products and services. Today, the world is following products and services, not ideas, products and services. Wallahi, we have the ideas. We have the iman. But you look to the Muslim world, no products, no services. Everything we're using is somebody else's product, somebody else's service. We must compete with them, okay, in products and services. We must compete with them in the development. We must compete with them in our behavior. They must understand Islam from our behavior. They must come to love us. If I treat my friend, if I treat my neighbor like he's my friend, even though maybe he's not my friend, but I treat him like he's my friend, after some time, he will become like friend to me. He will become dependent upon me. If I say to my neighbor, the snow is in the ground, I say to him, I shovel my snow and I shovel his snow. If I have machine, you know, snow machine, he don't have, he's shoveling. I have snow machine. I tell him, no, you don't need to do that. I take care of that for you. Even he don't like me, but I still do that for him. So he will say to himself and his family, what this man? He cleaned the snow. He know I don't like him. Voila. We smile to them. They frown at us. We smile at them.
هكذا كان الرسول صلى الله عليه
Like
وسلم.
Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Even they speak bad words to us. No, we don't speak bad words to them. If they curse us, we don't curse them. Okay? If they mistreat us, we never mistreat them. We deal with them in good way. We have good manners. We are honest with them. We are generous with them. As the Prophet ﷺ said, let him who believes in Allah on the last day either say what's good or keep quiet.
Yes.
And let him who believes in Allah on the last day be generous to his guest. And let him who believes in Allah on the last day be generous towards his neighbor. Because at the end of the day, the da'wah is not led with words. The da'wah is led by behavior.
وسلوك.
We have to lead by behavior. Secondly, when the Messenger of Allah ﷺ entered Medina, the first words of da'wah he gave was not come to Allah, believe in his Messenger ﷺ. No, it was tut'imu ta'am wa taqra'u salam man arafta wa man lam ta'rif. Why he gave that word? Because it's important for us to invite people to eat with us. Because if somebody eat with me, he will come to know me. Secondly, وَتَقْرَأُ السَّلَامِ, and give the good greetings to everybody. Not greetings to the Muslim, not greetings to your friend, not greetings to your countrymen, but greetings to your neighbor, to your colleague, to your friend, to the people in your class, to people in your neighborhood, to your co-worker. Be the first one on the job and greet them. Make the coffee before they get there. Always be nice to the people. And مَنْ أَرَفْتَ وَمَنْ لَمْ تَعْرِفْ.